right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to 3 by 3. That's 3 subjects for about 3 minutes each. I am your host, Danny Marquis, and this is the maiden voyage, the pilot episode, and I'm so thrilled that you found this video so that you can meet my special guest and very dear friend, the talented Mr. Anton Van Oosbree. Anton and I met about 12 or 13 years ago when we both lived in Portland, Oregon. We played in a band called Chervona. He played accordion and trumpet. I played drums. We had a blast, but Anton's been up to so much more since then, including launching his own YouTube channel with over 1,000 subscribers. I'm so very interested in you meeting my friend, Anton 3x3, up next. Okay, Anton, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
glad to have you here.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here, Danny.
Let me pull up the timer here. How's things in California?
They're warming up. It's nice here. Welcome to my garage, by the way.
Oh, it's a lovely backdrop.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
All right, 3 minutes on the timer. Here we go.
All right.
So, first thing, I'm not just talking to Anton Van Oosbree. I'm also talking to country legend Tony Wagner. Tell me about Tony.
Yeah, so Tony, he is me, but he's a version of me that I invented to kind of deal with some stuff I was dealing with starting in my 20s, mostly, relationship stuff, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But he's stuck around. I did not think he would be with me. I've said he's hung up his spurs multiple times, but he sticks around. And even recently, as earlier this year and last summer, I was still writing some Tony Wagner songs, and I think there's one that we wanted to kind of talk about and listen to.
I think we got that ready to go here right now.
All right, let's take.
We're gonna dive right into a good lyric or two. Here we go.
You can call it a loss when you fall off your horse. I call that good education.
Great guitar work here.
Thank you.
Life won't stop bucking. Take it from someone who should know. All this struggle and strife don't mean nothing. After all, this is my second rodeo.
So very good. I really like those lyrics. Tell us a little bit more about where Tony was coming from with this.
Yeah, so Tony, he's living his life. He's having a hard time, and this is how he knows how to sing about it. And he's got a little bit of experience. It's his second rodeo, but he knows that he's going to fall off that horse again and again and again.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a good tune, and everybody's been there. We can understand that idea. There's some good more material up here. I want to listen to some more.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
I didn't even know you played the harmonica, Tony.
Yeah, I didn't, but then I realized it's a great instrument. You're kind of limited to the keys you can play in, so you may have noticed that modulation there.
Yes, it did. It bumped up, I think, a step, right?
Yeah, that was a modulation of necessity because I only had the one harmonica at the time.
I think that harmonica belongs to your dad, is that right?
Yes, that was it. Got it with some book in the 70s or something like that.
And you're staying in the up a step to sing us out, right?
Yeah. We end up a step here. Really happy with that lead guitar I came up with.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to hit every country cliche.
Well, it rings authentic. Okay, so good job, Tony. Really like that. And here we are, 5 seconds left. So Tony Wagner coming in perfectly on time.
Yeehaw.
Let's move right along. Our next thing that we're going to talk about is your accordion work. And we have a nice tune ready for you there.
All right. Yeah, so this was a request, actually. Sorry, I just got a little overwhelmed with everything that's going on screen here.
Yeah, there's so many things, so many channels.
Yeah, so I think the very first Daft Punk tune I arranged for accordion was Aerodynamic, and then it just works really well on accordion. I don't know. I find it lays well.
Accordion, though, you would think that it's kind of, you don't hear that on a Daft Punk song.
You don't, but you know they're all about these synths, and you can get these really long sustains on accordion, of course. Anyway, I found it worked for me, and then I had these recordings, and I wanted to share it with the YouTube world, and I came up with this very DIY style of, hey folks, here's a video of me playing the thing you're listening to. And it comes out well. There's some limitations with iMovie where you can only have.
You made it in iMovie.
This was made in iMovie. And it comes with the Mac I bought 6 years ago.
Sure, yeah, built right in.
And you can only have one of these overlays at a time, so I had to export it with one picture, bring it back in, figure out the next part, put the next one on. So if there are 5 or 6 things going on here, that means that there were 4 or 5 exports.
Rendering upon rendering.
It reminds me of, the Beatles famously made the Sgt. Pepper's on a 4-track, right? Just mixing down.
Yes, so absolutely. Yeah, just keep condensing.
Digital version of that here.
Well, very good. And you're playing some pretty good drums over there in the Oasis.
Yeah, that's my little 25 key thing, and I actually, have to learn how to key that in there.
The MIDI channels, you have to figure out which instrument was which note.
Yeah, so I think if you have a key and eye, you should notice that everything lines up.
But, everyone that's scrutinizing those inputs is going to be rewarded.
There we go. Boom.
Okay. So you get a little look at what I've been watching on YouTube there. But you mentioned doing another Daft Punk song, but you also did it was an Elvis song, but I think a
Can't
Dolly
Help
Parton
Falling
tune.
in Love. I've done an Edith Piaf tune, just accordion. I think it's really close to the human voice, which it's just one of those instruments that you can really get evocative with it.
Absolutely, yes. It's an instrument that has, I think, gained ground here in this new millennium. Once again, after perhaps falling into the closet. Yeah. So that's good. We've got just a little bit of time, so I want to take a quick break and look at something that I just really think is funny.
Okay. Oh, who's that young man?
I don't know. It looks kind of familiar.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Tartan Brothers from Germany. We have heard that in the United States there's a pop culture myth going around that if you look at the elbow when you high five, that you do not miss. We are trying the high fives now with this little trick. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. We have not been able to make it work. We look forward to hearing you from the comments. Tschüss.
Tschüss. I love this video, especially because people put in the comments like you weren't joking. They thought that you were serious, and they needed to correct the character on the screen about how you're supposed to look at the other person's elbow.
Yeah,
it's a joke. Okay,
it's a joke. That's kind of what YouTube comments are for, unfortunately. But
Well, that's a perfect segue, Anton, because the next thing we're going to talk about here is your YouTube channel, which, as I mentioned in the intro, has more than 1,000 subscribers. You've really gotten some traction with that, gotten some interactivity, and I've just put this. Your videos up on the screen. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so this is the modern state of my YouTube channel is these transcriptions, mostly of national anthems, where I will transcribe it in a browser-based notation software called Noteflight, and then I export that, put it into MIDI, and then bring the MIDI into this program Synthesia, which is ostensibly a keyboard learning tool, but it's really great for playing back MIDI files.
Sure.
You see there's a Doom track in there, some video games, some great music in video games. Like I say, most of these national anthems, people will request, hey, do this country, do this other country. I do some regional anthems. I've done like Gibraltar, for example. I didn't know that they had an anthem, but it's a great way to learn about parts of the world I never ever would have normally kind of interacted with.
And of course, also stoke some nationalism that rubs off on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, absolutely. The Philippines have been my #1 fans. Again, did not know much about the Philippines before I started this, but I've met some really great folks, learned some great songs, some great artists that come out of the Philippines. So I just really appreciate that. That's the way I like to talk about it. This is kind of what the internet was promised to be, people from different geographic locations coming together over a shared passion. And I feel like I've actually kind of, built a little community that does exactly that here.
Yeah, and it's really great the way that you've been able to interact with the community, right? And keep generating things. In fact, you mentioned that it's at least ostensibly a learning tool, this Synthesia, and you've managed to stamp easy brands onto some of these as though they would be easy to learn. Tell us a little bit more about how you got that done.
Sure thing. So some of these, I usually work off of a recording or something like that of like a really bombastic, fully orchestrated national anthem. And this is more than one person alone can play on the piano. So I think some people started saying like, hey, I need 10 hands in order to play this. And I said, you're right. You're not going to be able to play this file as it is. So I started making these easy arrangements, which you can play with just 2 hands. It's trying to be as straightforward and simple as possible, and just get folks started down the path to being able to play that.
That's wonderful. Yeah, to be able to play their own anthem or their own regional tune. That's really great. Hey, we just ran to the zeros on our last set of 3, but I do want to take just a moment to talk bonus round about a happy memory. And just remember anything that you can tell me about the time that Chervona went to Russian Drova up in Washington. What do you remember about that, buddy?
Man, I remember that was a really great trip. We went up there, and I think we were just really excited to let loose. And we did. And by letting loose, I think I took a big drink of something and then just kind of put my arms back and fell back right into a reedy, marshy wet patch. So then I had a wet butt, and we were playing a show later that night, and it was just...
Yeah, I remember trying to do that Scottish game from Braveheart where you like throw logs down a road. Yeah, we hit it hard as soon as we hit the ground on that campsite. It was
the other thing I remember about
ridiculous.
That, Danny, is we were sharing a tent. It was camping, and you told me in the morning that you had to pee really bad, but you were too self-conscious to step over me. And I just wish you had woken me up. Of course, I would have let you out to go pee, man. So next time.
Oh, man. I hope everyone in the comments remembers that those are jokes.
Just jokes. Dan doesn't pee.
Hey, we're going to put some links in the description down below for Anton and all of his YouTube channel and the stuff that he's doing with Tony Wagner. Just one last opportunity. Anything you want to say before we close things out?
Yeah, I do want to say thank you, Dan, for putting this together. There's some great folks up in Vancouver, BC. Misty, that's Rowan up there. He leads that. I think if you like accordions, anything kind of off the beaten path, check out Misty, and they do some great artwork. Got a big shout out to my friend Jeff Countryman out in NYC. He does all the mixing on the Tony Wagner stuff for me, pretty much for free, which is great. And I guess I'd also say, if you're watching this and if there's a song from a video game or a movie or a country that you want to see transcribed, just drop a comment in there, and I will get to that once I can.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us on this maiden voyage of 3x3 with Anton Van Oosbree. It's been really a joy. Thank you very much.
Danny, you're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
So long.